We have been married for 32 years. Did I get that
30.
right? What?
33.
33? Oh gosh. Isn't that awful?
We'll talk about the missing year later.
Let's just say it was more than 3 decades ago that Susan and Roland Tufts vowed to be together in sickness and health. It was mostly health until last year.
Well, it's end-stage renal disease, and it was caused by a medical condition I have, which generally results in kidney failure.
That diagnosis put Roland on Maine's organ transplant waiting list. According to the Maine Transplant Program, the average wait in Maine is 4 to 5 years. The Tufts plan to take things one step at a time, aware there was a lot they did not know. One of those unknowns was that a lifeline would come from just a few steps away from their front door. It all began when Susan ran into a neighbor at the store and broke the news of Roland's condition.
2 days later, we got a knock on the door. And I thought, who could be coming to the door at this time? And I go to the door, and there's Sheldon.
He needed a kidney.
This is Sheldon Tepler,
I have 2,
who lives a couple of houses down from the Tufts.
and it was just a no-brainer.
And he said he had no idea if he'd be a match, but if he was, we could have his kidney. And it was just, I got goosebumps at the time, and I still do when I think about that. I honestly didn't think he would be a match, but the fact that he came to our door and said, "You can have my kidney," it just took my breath away.
Short of breath
I found out I was.
and at a loss for words, they were a match.
I'd love to tell you that it was a big sacrifice, but it just wasn't. I feel great.
As if he had simply come over with a cup of sugar, Sheldon Tepler redefined what it means to be a good neighbor and literally gave away a piece of himself.
Living donors are very special people.
This is Dr. Juan Palma, Sheldon's transplant surgeon and the director of the Living Kidney Donor Program at Maine Health. He says there are real medical and surgical risks.
We only select the fittest, the healthiest of the healthiest.
Dr. Palma says they were the last living donor organ recipient pair to have simultaneous surgery before the pandemic put all such procedures on hold for 2 months.
So the need for any donors is increasing.
The wait list is normally around 100 people in Maine. Now it's 150. But Sheldon Tepler did his part to help answer that need and remarkably was back to running, even hiking Katahdin, not long after. You may be wondering, like I did,
Maybe this is just my DNA.
why he would do something so selfless. The reason, simply put, his family.
When I was growing up,
His parents were Holocaust survivors.
we heard about the neighbors who did nothing, but then there were the neighbors who sacrificed their lives.
So even in this time of staying apart,
Talk about a blessing in my life.
they are closer than ever.
Wow.
Sheldon Tepler gave a piece of himself
And holy cow, he's going to be able to dance at his kid's wedding.
to provide another family peace of mind,
It's amazing that this happened.
knowing their father's time on earth isn't up yet.
It was a miracle.
It was not a big deal for me,
Lindsay Mills,
but it was a really big deal for Roland and his family.
News Center, Maine.